today we're going to talk about grammar, the very, very basic and important grammar in Japanese. I have picked 3 most important structure or grammar in Japanese. The first one, wa desu. Something, wa blah blah, janai desu. And then something, wa blah blah, desu ka. These 3 sentences. Let's have a look at the first one. Blah blah wa desu. For example, when you think of the very simple English sentences, for example, I am Japanese. I am Japanese. This is a pen. My father is a designer, or whatever. Whatever, these very simple structured sentences. In Japanese, let's have a look like this. So I equals Japanese. This equals a pen. My father equals a designer. So instead of thinking of is, am, were, are, let's think this way, and you switch the words with Japanese. So I, watashi, Japanese, Nihonjin, and the next one, this in Japanese, kore, pen. It's the same, pen, and remember, pen is a foreign word, so it's in katakana instead of hiragana. I hope you are getting used to it by now. And the third one, my father, for example, otou-san. Well, here I'll just skip with my part. We just say otou-san because we just skip it unless it's very necessary to point out this is my father, not yours, or like not his and stuff. So in general, we say otou-san. Usually refers my father when I talk about the father. So let's say otou-san, otou-san. And designer in Japanese, designer, designer. And again, it's in katakana because it's a foreign word. Oh, we just switched, we had just replaced words into Japanese. And then this equal part, you put ha, but it reads wa. You write ha, but this reads wa. And then this at the end of the sentence, so after you replace words, this. And another point that you have to be careful is the usually we have to pronounce each word with consonant and vowels. Like it should be desu, watashi wa nihonjin desu. But we say this all the time. So the last u vowel usually dropped. So we will be sounding like watashi wa nihonjin desu, desu instead of desu. Desu, watashi wa nihonjin desu. I am Japanese. Kore wa pen desu. This is a pen. My father is a designer. Otou-san wa designer desu. So this simple structure. Blah blah wa blah blah desu. Blah blah wa blah blah desu. Just careful with the written wa. It's ha instead of wa. So in hiragana 50 won table, like this, ha, not wa. And this is also applying. This applies also to these 2 phrases. For example, konbanwa and konnichiwa. So these 2 is also ha. We use ha, but pronunciation wa. Konbanwa, konnichiwa. Well, some say it's just based on the classical orthology or like phonetic ways of pronouncing. Some say the same logic of this, as in the normal sentences. Watashi wa blah blah blah. It goes the following information afterwards. So konbanwa used to mean tonight or this evening is blah blah blah. And konnichiwa, konnichi means today. So today is blah 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 blah. So it used to be like this. So it just remained this way. So there's a bit different theory behind this. But today we just read ha in konbanwa and konnichiwa is wa. Is it confusing? I hope it's okay. And then in these sentences, it's wa, but write ha. And then except these konbanwa, konnichiwa, or in the sentences, in normal word. For example, hana, that's ha. You don't have to worry about wa and stuff. So you have to be always, you have to only careful in the sentences after some nouns, or konbanwa or konnichiwa. So hana means flower or nose. So when you look at this word, you can, without any worries, you can just pronounce it with hana, usual ha. Right, so that was blah 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 this. And the next grammar, blah blah blah, janai desu. はじゃないです。So, what if those the last three sentences we have just looked at? I, Japanese, this is pen, my father, a designer. What if they're not equals? So, I'm not Japanese. This is not a pen. My father is not a designer. Again, the process is the same. So you replace the words into Japanese first. 私、日本人、これ、ペン、お父さん、デザイナー。And then, は is the same. But before this, you have to put じゃない。And then it's not. So very simple. You don't have to worry about the order. So 私は日本人じゃないです。You just put じゃない before this, and then that means not. You might also hear people saying じゃありません. That's the same. Or ではありません. That's also the same. So not, not, not. But most commonly we say じゃないです very often. じゃありません slightly a bit formal, and ではありません it's more like a bit written style of saying not. Blah blah is not blah blah. That's it, I guess. The last one. Blah blah はですか What is this? Well, let's look at this sentence. This is a pen. This is a pen. Well, when you want to make a question sentence, in English, for example, you have to replace, you have to move the words in a different order. This is a pen. When you want to make a question, you have to say, is this a pen? Well, you could say this is a pen as a nuance, but grammatically, you have to say, is this a pen? Plus question mark. In Japanese, well, this was the sentences. This is a pen. これはペンです. This is a pen. It's super easy in Japanese. You just add ka at the end of sentence, and that's it. And you can make a perfect question sentence. Well, and then you have to be careful that we don't use question mark in the official documents or in the very traditional ways of writing. Well, in for example, in mails or in short messages or in the very daily correspondence and stuff, we do lots of time we use question mark and the surprise mark as well. But as the official rules, official grammar, we don't use a question mark. So you can't really find question mark in the sentences, for example, in the textbooks or in the traditional documents or something. But when you find ka, you can say, right, that's a question. I mean, not always, but we usually put ka at the end of sentences. I mean, you can also make questions. これはペンです as a nuance. Like the pitch, you go up. これはペンです You could, but grammatically, you put ka at the end. And then you make a question sentence. Right. これはペンです This is a pen. Is this a pen in Japanese? これはペンですか And that's it. Yay. Easy. So how about this is what? And you don't know what it is. In this situation, you make what is this in English. So, and then you have to again think about the order. So you start with what and is, and then this at the end in English. Well, in Japanese. So think about that structure we just had looked at. これはペンです. That was a pen, but now we don't know what that is. So, これはです. To make this sentence, what is this in Japanese? You replace part with nan. And you mark it as a question sentence. So you just put ka at the end, and that's it. So you don't have to worry about the order. You just put, you can just start with これは what is it? 何ですか? これは何ですか? So this structure. What in Japanese, what itself is nani. So when it works just by itself, like what, when you want to ask like what, and that will be nani. But when what is used in question sentences, it'll be transformed as nan, only in question sentences. So instead of this, これ, for example, your job is what? Your job is what? What is your job in Japanese? So think about this way. Your job in Japanese. お仕事 and the same order. お仕事は何ですか? お仕事 is good enough to say a job, but o is very good idea to put to be very polite. Honorific. O. So お仕事は何ですか? お仕事は何ですか? That would be what is your job? You don't even have to worry about your or his when it's clear, when it's obvious to talk about your job, and then you don't have to say yours or his or her. So お仕事は何ですか? What is your job in Japanese? In the same way, you put your name when you want to ask their names. Name in Japanese, 名前, and the polite o, honorific o, お名前, and then what is your name? お名前は何ですか? These basic grammar will help you to make basic conversations or expressions and stuff. So hope it helped you. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. お疲れ様でした. If you want to practice Japanese with us and meet your new classmates, you're more than welcome to join us. Okaeri SCHOOL.